Montano is one of the only remaining Lasombra to have walked side by side with the clan's founder. It is said that he is to thank for the clan's access to the abyss, and even some whisper that Christianity itself was allowed to rise in the world because of his wishes. Ever a man of honor, he refused to leave the Camarilla, and for centuries he was branded a traitor because of it. As one of his descendants, you know what true loyalty means. The clan looks to you and your ancestor more now than ever, as they forge ahead in the dark waters of the Camarilla. Greetings, kindred. I am voivodemekhet, and welcome back to our World of Darkness and the Laws of the Night playlist. In this playlist, we go over LARP, live action roleplay rules for Vampire the Masquerade, which are presented to us by Mind's Eye Theater and by Night Studios. So, Loresheets in the book are marked down as a special type of background advantage. You can buy these at character creation, or with your storyteller's permission, you can buy them after your character's already been in play for some time. This is something that you're going to want to talk to your storyteller about, because not all Loresheets will fit within the confines of a chronicle. Loresheets are a special way of not only giving your character a special advantage or advantages in gameplay, but also tying them in to the overall background meta plot within the Vampire the Masquerade storyline. I have found as a storyteller that Loresheets tend to be ignored at character creation just because it's a new mechanic and people don't exactly know what it is. Now, depending on when you're watching this, or even in your chronicle setting, this might not be true for you. You could very well have a game there people are obsessed with Loresheets, and with good reason. People who are used to playing Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition tabletop will know the benefits of Loresheets and exactly what they can do for your character. And there are several options in Laws of the Night and in future publications coming out from by Night Studios. That being said, I do want to point out that Loresheets are a lot different in LARP than they are in tabletop. In the tabletop setting of Vampire the Masquerade, Loresheets are going to add a special nuance to your character sheet. You might get a bump here and there in a background or even a discipline power because you have an associated Loresheet. However, in LARP, Loresheets tend to be a heavier hitting mechanic. They give you massive advantages, and they also should be something that are limited in a game, maybe only allowing a certain number of people out of a larger group to take that amount. Or you could build an entire chronicle completely around a Loresheet. Another huge difference from tabletop to LARP is that, much like all other backgrounds in LARP, the Loresheets are limited to 3 different advantages instead of 5 as they are in tabletop, as there is a condensed way of running things, as with all backgrounds in LARP, compared to tabletop. Purchasing Loresheets can be done with your free points at character creation. At character creation, you get 7 free background traits, and you are completely allowed to dump those points into a Loresheet, getting those free dots. And I want to stress that very much because there's a difference between dots and experience traits. At character creation, you will be given a free amount of experience traits to flesh out your character, to make them an individual. And when you have those are to be spent as experience points. Backgrounds are purchased at 3 experience per dot. But with your 7 free traits of dots, you can just take the points completely without worrying about the expanded cost when it comes to experience. That being said, if you wanted to buy the Sect Veteran Loresheet, for example, Taking that would cost you 6 of your 7 free dots of backgrounds. However, if you're going to buy it with your free XP at character creation, it would cost you 3 points for a level 1, 6 points for a level 2, and 9 experience points for a level 3. Bring the total to 18 points if you wanted to buy a complete lore sheet. Now, personally, I am the kind of person who likes to buy things little by little over time so that my character has a chance to grow into what those advantages are. That is my style of playing. It is not the only style of playing. And being able to start with a small amount of a lore sheet to build up the tension is a lot of fun. With that being said, you do not have to buy these in order of experience. You do not have to start with level 1. You could very well start with the 3-point background instead, because what these are associated advantages with the meta plot that your character can take advantage of in any order they wish. You could buy a 1, you could buy 1 and a 3, you could buy just the second one. You can do it any way you want to. And that needs to be kept in mind, that these are not a progression style trait. In that way, multiple characters could start with the same lore sheet and have completely different advantages for taking it. Descendants of Montano, which is a Lasombra specific lore sheet. At the time of the recording, I recently got back from the Chicago Darkness Emergent event where the Lasombra are climbing up that ladder. Montano was a Lasombra anti-tribute back when such a thing was a thing. The idea that, like, the majority of the clan helped form the Sabbat, so anybody who stayed in the Camarilla was considered a traitor to the clan or an anti-tribute. Really stuck home for a lot of people. If there was a Lasombra anti-tribute in the city, there was a good chance that other Lasombra were going to come in and just wreck it until they were able to get them. But now, the Lasombra forming within the Camarilla this power structure really can maintain a new level of elegance for a clan as terrifying as the Magisters. Investing 1 dot in this lore sheet gets you Siblings in Darkness. Montano's honor runs throughout his lineage as an expected code of behavior, and you reap the benefits of this reputation within Clan Lasombra. Your clanmates have provided you aid and respect in the form of 4 dots selected from the allies, contacts, or resources background and their associated advantages. Basically, you're so respected within Clan Lasombra that others have introduced you to the right people or helped you make the proper contacts in some fashion. I like the excuse. I really do. And I like the benefits, because backgrounds, in my opinion, tend to be overlooked when it comes to long-standing LARP games. And getting these advantages in a higher level due to a single point of a lore sheet can open up the door to things that people would typically have to wait months or possibly even years to accomplish. Investing 2 dots in this lore sheet gets you Purity of Remorse. No one mourns his sins like Montano, who murdered his family and friends as a mortal man to save his village from his sire. He cannot consciously remember this, but he agonizes just the same. You are inspired by his commitment to humanity and have learned from it. Once a night, if you fail a remorse test, you can attempt it again. If you win, not tie, the second test, you remain at your current humanity and remove all stains. Given the fact that Clan Lasombra is known for its ruthlessness, the fact that they have something tied in to the way that their humanity works in a system, like the ability to maintain their humanity by actually feeling bad about it and even taking a second to go, no, I really should feel bad about this, which is effectively what these mechanics are saying. That is a very interesting thought process, considering the fact that Lasombra are also known for their involvement and their creation of like the road of heaven from the Dark Ages and things like that. It's interesting to see the struggle between how ruthless they can be and how they want to maintain their humanity. In some cases, some Lasombra are just going to just dive into the evil all they want to, and I'm sure we'll see that in future lore sheets as more emerge. But the idea that descendants of Montano have such a tie to their humanity is interesting because it steps out of the typical stereotypes of Clan Lasombra. Investing 3 dots in this lore sheet gets you Abyssal Appearance. You have studied the powers and ceremonies of Oblivion with Montano himself. With his potent blood, his mastery will always eclipse yours. You have, however, managed to learn a few tricks that only his tutelage can explain. Once per game session, prior to the beginning of the game, you may select any one of your Oblivion powers or ceremonies and replace it with another power or ceremony that you would be eligible to purchase at that level. At the end of the game session, the choice is reversed. Somehow, practicing Oblivion with Montano, either the discipline itself or the ritual, has made it so that you can decide to have a different level than is actually on your sheet. That's mind-boggling, because that means that you have almost a fluid notion of what disciplines and ceremonies actually mean for you. You can choose different powers that you don't have. You could, for all intents and purposes, rewrite the way that Oblivion works for you. That's incredible. That's really intense, and I can actually think of different ways like I would like to see that be used, because there's just any number of things that you might be able to accomplish. So the Descendants of Montano, a Clan Lasombra specific lore sheet for Vampire the Masquerade LARP, it's weird, as it should be, because Clan Lasombra is weird. Anyway, thank you for joining me in this, and I do look forward to seeing you in the next one. I am voivodemekhet, and this has been a look at a LARP lore sheet for Vampire the Masquerade. Good evening.